For the second year in a row, BRICS leaders met virtually, with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading the summit this time around. As chair, Prime Minister Modi delivered his opening comments, reminding the world why this bloc, which represents more than 40% of the world's population, is a powerful one.
Today we are an influential voice for the emerging economies of the world. This platform has helped focus the world's attention on developing countries and their concerns.
This is the first time that BRICS leaders were meeting since the Taliban captured power in Kabul and announced an interim government, and Afghanistan was discussed on priority behind closed doors. But the only leader to openly address the elephant in the room in his opening speech, which was the only portion of the summit that was open to the media, was Russian President Vladimir Putin. Straight off the bat, he blamed America's exit for what's happening in Afghanistan, saying it's led to the creation of a new crisis for the region.
It is for good reason that our countries have paid special attention to this issue. Russia, like its BRICS partners, have long spoken on the need to have peace and stability on Afghan soil. Citizens of this country have the right to define what their country will look like. Afghanistan should not become a threat to its neighbouring countries, a source of terrorism and drug trafficking.
A joint statement adopted at the end of the meeting called for inclusive dialogue among all groups in Afghanistan. It also said it's important to prevent organizations from using Afghan territory as a sanctuary for terrorists to carry out attacks against other nations. In the last few days, India and Russia have spoken in one voice on this issue, despite having entirely divergent views on engaging with the Taliban. New Delhi and Moscow have said that Afghan soil should not be used to export terror to Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent. From New Delhi's perspective, Taliban's ascent and its proximity to Pakistan has led to worries of an increase in cross-border terror attacks and insurgency in Kashmir. BRICS leaders also expressed concern over the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the country, saying it's important to uphold the rights of Afghan nationals, especially the women and children of the country. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa used his address to call on BRICS nations to help address vaccine inequities plaguing many developing countries. India and South Africa have floated a joint proposal to the World Trade Organization demanding a patent waiver on COVID-19 vaccines.
We must also ensure equal access to COVID-19 vaccines, the diagnostics as well as therapeutics, because that is the only way in which we can collectively respond to this pandemic that engulfs the world.
This proposal has been backed by BRICS leaders in BRICS countries, but has been pending at the WTO since October last year. It's being opposed by the pharmaceutical industry and by some countries that claim the move will stifle innovation and research. Neha Punya, SABC News, New Delhi.